Hi everybody, this is Dario. Welcome back to my channel, Motley Reads. Today I'm going to do a book haul. I know you guys love book hauls, and I've been accumulating books during the last couple of months. A month and a half. Or that's when I did my last book haul. I think 1.5 months ago, maybe 2 months. Okay, so I've been buying books more than I've been reading. Yeah, I had a quite okay January reading month, but I was absorbed in work again as it so often happens. But still, I continued buying books, and I at some point when I get retired, perhaps I'm gonna catch up and read all the stuff that I'm buying. But what I'm really trying to do, I try to build up a library of books that I want to read at some point, that I want to own. And this, I getting quite lots of good ideas by watching booktube and also just by browsing in bookstores. I find stuff. So this is how it comes about. So I want to show you my latest purchases here. So it is quite a pile. I thought it would be just a couple of books, but it is quite a pile actually. So start with the first book. Here is Niels Saga. This book I acquired to use in Sagalong that I'm co-hosting together with a bunch of great booktubers. And this Sagalong is going to take place in April, and the focus of Sagalong is going to be Niels Saga. I have Niels Saga in a quite boring small mass market paperback edition. I wanted for this book haul really to have a better version, and so this one is it's in Swedish and it's published by Fabel publishing house back in sometime in 1992. I found it in a used bookshop, mint condition. So Niels Saga. So that's the first one. The second one, it's two books, but it's one book in two parts really. It's Lost Illusions by Honoré de Balzac. And this book I got recommendation from Brian at Bookish. He's a great fan of Honoré de Balzac. I read two books of Honoré de Balzac in my youth. I read Yevgeny Grande and Papa Goriot, and since I know that Brian is a great fan, I asked, okay, if you would recommend the next one to read, which is a great title that you would recommend, and he recommended this one, Lost Illusions. And in this came in Swedish in two parts. Obviously, it's a chunkster of a book. This is also from a used bookshop. This book is out of print actually in Sweden, so I couldn't find it in a regular bookshop. Like you cannot find anything in a regular bookshop in Sweden really. So this was, I think it was back, and it was sometime back in 80s. I can't really find. 1979 actually. Lost Illusions by Honoré de Balzac. Okay. Now third book. This third book is not. I didn't buy this book. I actually got as a gift from my wife, and is this one. It's called, it's in Swedish, Sappho på nytt, New Sappho, and it is a collection of all poetry and fragments by Sappho, the ancient Greek poet from the island of Lesbos. And I'm sure all of you are acquainted with Sappho, at least from the school. And I was during the last couple of months, I was coming back to Sappho all the time, and really wanted to learn more about her, read about her. And we have in a couple of anthologies at home here, just a couple of fragments, couple of poems I was coming back to, and she was in a bookshop with our daughter. They were buying some book for my daughter, and then I was looking for a Sappho collection of poems in Swedish online in the bookshops. It's out of print as well. You cannot find anything. So and I wasn't even able to find it used online. So I was pretty surprised by that. But then she found, and this is just published actually, new edition of Sappho, and I was so happy. So we've been reading this aloud and discussing and commenting, and this is so fantastic. And also these fragments that you have, in some cases they're it's just a line. In some cases it's just a single words, but in some cases it's full-blown poems, and you get so close to feelings and a heartbreak of a fantastic artist from that time when you read this. So this was really perfect gift. I was so glad when she got me this one, Sappho. And this I think that this let's see this picture here. It's a painting that is called Sappho Embrassant Salure by Gilles-Élie Delaunay, painted 1876, and it's exhibited at Musée des Beaux-Arts in Brest in France. So this is very nice. I like it. Good. So that's Sappho. So let's go further. Here's a couple of non-fiction books here. Here is a book I heard quite a lot, both on BookTube and in various places, and it seems to be a classic in its genre, and it is a book by Elizabeth Colbert, The Sixth Extinction: An Unnatural History, and it's a winner of the Pulitzer Prize, and it is telling about the current extinction of wildlife on Earth, and it says like this: over the last half billion years, there have been 5 mass extinctions, when the diversity of life on Earth suddenly and dramatically contracted. Scientists around the world are currently monitoring the 6th extinction, predicted to be the most devastating extinction event since the asteroid impact that wiped out the dinosaurs. This time around, the cataclysm is us. So, and this got a lot of press when it was published and when it won a Pulitzer Prize. And this is a couple of years ago. This book came out. Let's see, this edition is from 2015. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. I think it is important and important writing, especially in these times now. On the same theme is my next book, and this is even more classic in a genre. It is a same genre. This is a book by Rachel Carson, Silent Spring. So Silent Spring is published sometime back in the 60s, 1962. And it says like this: now recognized as one of the most influential books of the 20th century, Silent Spring exposed the destruction of wildlife through the widespread use of pesticides. Despite condemnation in the press and attempts by the chemical industry to ban the book, Rachel Carson succeeded in creating a new public awareness of the environment, which led to changes in government policy and inspired the modern ecological movement. So these two books, it is similar genre. Both of them have got really good coverage and good reviews. So I'm looking forward to read them at some point, hopefully this year. Silent Spring and The Sixth Extinction. Even my next book is on the theme of ecology, And this book is in Swedish. It's written by a Swedish essayist, Nina Burton, and it's in Swedish called Livets tunna väggar. The English translation would be the thin walls of life. And it is also an ecological meditation. From what I understand, it's pretty similar to the kind of approach that, like Thoreau had in Walden. And Nina Burton, she's a really excellent essayist. She won with this book one of the great prizes in Sweden, Augustpriset. She also published a couple of years ago another essay a book which is a biography of Erasmus of Rotterdam that I read last year and really loved it. And her writing is really great, and she's doing thorough research. And so I loved Erasmus. And I think that this one is going to be great as well. Nina Burton, The Thin Walls of Life. Next book is a bit on a different theme. It is a book by Joel Greenblatt, Common Sense, The Investor's Guide to Equality, Opportunity and Growth. And it is published by Columbia Business School. Joel Greenblatt is an investor. And this book is about his ideas about, how do you build the economy that really works for everybody, starting from where we are right now, in a situation where we have lots of inequality and lots of bad things happening in the economy, and we need to realistically approach how changes could be made, not just all these unrealistic tear down everything and build up everything new, and but what could we do, what adjustments could we make. So I got this book recommended by a friend. And I have lots of interest in the current affairs in social policy. I'm also a part of investment community. So this is very interesting book to read. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a slim volume, so it should go quite quickly. So Common Sense. And the next one also is a non-fiction book. It is the last of in the non-fiction books here in this pile. It is published in 1979 and it's won the Pulitzer Prize. The name of the book is Gödel, Escher and Bach, An Eternal Golden Braid by Douglas R. Hofstadter. And I saw this book on Noah's channel. Noah of Everyone Who Reads It Must Converse. He will be reading this book during this year, and I got really inspired when I saw how enthusiastic he was about this book. This book is apparently about the consciousness and opportunity, possibility. For machines to gain consciousness, and the theme is explored from three perspectives here. Gödel is a mathematician, and he created a formula about the that is covering, as I understand, imperfection of math. Escher made the impossible illustrations, and then Bach, he was known of being very as a structural innovator in a classical music. So from these three perspectives, from the mathematics, from art, and from the music, the writer, the author is covering the idea of consciousness in machines. It's a pretty thick and pretty dense volume, and it seems to be quite a complex narrative that is having both covering logic and stuff like that, and the music, and then there is art obviously here as well, and it is somehow the Lewis Carroll's writing is used as a vehicle to convey a message here. So there are dialogues from Lewis Carroll's characters here that are discussing the topic. So this is quite interesting. You know, if you have read the book, please, you know, make a comment. Tell me what do you know about it, because it is pretty difficult, you know, to grasp exactly, you know, what is covering and how to read it. So this is, I'm really curious about this one. So Gödel, Escher, Bach, and Eternal Golden Braid. So now we have a couple of fiction books here that I purchased. First one is Orlando by Virginia Woolf. Now I will be reading Orlando as a part of my Pride month reading in June. Obviously, you know, we have Orlando at home, but it is Mia's copies, and we have agreed that we're gonna do a body read on it, so we need the second copy. And I really love these, you know, Oxford World Classic editions. I think that they are really gorgeous, and you know, it's a great feel reading them. They have lots of always great introductions, chronology, great explanatory notes. So I chose to acquire this edition. So Mia has she has a vintage classics edition, and this one is Oxford. So Orlando by Virginia Woolf. My second book here is also Virginia Woolf. It's To the Lighthouse. I read To the Lighthouse last summer. I completely fell in love with it. Currently, my favorite book of all time. Why I bought this one is I wanted to have Oxford World Classics edition for the reason I just mentioned, and I really loved this cover here, and the cover illustration is detailed from On the Edge of the Cliff by Dame Laura Knight. So isn't it gorgeous? So yeah, and the edition I have that I read last summer is Vintage Classics, which is also very beautiful. It looks like this, but it doesn't contain all these extras that I wanted to have. So that's why I acquired this one. Next in the series of my fiction books here that I acquired is The Warden by Anthony Trollope. Now, I never read anything by Anthony Trollope. I will be reading during March of Moments, The Way We Live Now, which is a a standalone novel, chunkster that I will cover in March. But I also heard a lot of good stuff about the Barchester Chronicles, and this is the first book in the Barchester series. So with this book I will be initiating that series. So The Warden by Anthony Trollope, Oxford World Classics edition. Next one is Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens. This is also in Oxford. Dickens. I haven't been reading a lot of Dickens. I'm currently reading Bleak House. It is a pretty dense and thick book. It's gonna take quite a long time to read it. I enjoy it, but you really need to put time and effort. And I heard about Our Mutual Friend on Katie's channel, Katie of Books and Things. This is apparently her favorite Dickens, and she read all of Dickens several times. So, and this is her favorite. So I guess it's very good. So I need to have it. And then finally, the last one is the book. I don't remember on whose channel I saw it, but I got really intrigued because I'm a big London lover, and this is a book by Norman Collins, London Belongs to Me, in a Penguin Modern Classics edition. And this until when I saw this book on whoever it was that talked about it, I never heard of it. So I got immediately intrigued, and it says like this: it is 1938, and the prospect of war hangs over every London inhabitant, but the city doesn't stop. Everywhere people continue to work, drink, fall in love, fight and struggle to get on in life. At the lodging house at number 10, Dulcimer Street, Kennington, the buttoned-up clerk, Mr. Josser, returns home with the clock he has received as a retirement gift. The other residents include faded actress Connie, tin food-loving Mr. Puddy, widowed landlady Mrs. Wizard, whose head is tuned by a neurologer, a self-styled professor of spiritualism, and flashy young mechanic Percy Boone, whose foray into stolen cars descends into something much, much worse. So this sounds very, very exciting, and it is definitely something for me. So London Belongs to Me is the last book in this book haul. So let me know if you read any of these books, if you liked them, if you didn't, leave a comment in the comment section. And I'm looking forward to dig into some of these babies here. So yeah, until then, thank you for watching. See you. Bye.